Hi. I'm here today because I just had a baby and I noticed that there's a sign here that says to talk to the pharmacy staff if I need a breast pump. And I have been recommended by the feeding nurse at the hospital to come and buy a Medela electric pump. Do you have those in stock?
Oh yeah, of course. We have a few to choose from, but you said you wanted the Modelo, right?
Yeah. Just by the looks of the box, it looks like there's a lot of pieces. So I'm just kind of wondering, can you show me what all the pieces are? Maybe how they connect? How does the milk go in? Maybe just give me a quick rundown on how it works.
Yeah, of course. So what I could do is if you'd like me to, I'd be able to explain a bit about how to use it. Um, and then if you have any further questions, we can always go get the pharmacist. Does that sound
Oh,
good?
yeah, perfect. I have no idea how to use one. First time.
Perfect. So to begin with, what do you already know about the kind of parts and how they connect? And if you don't know anything, that's okay too. I can just go over the whole thing to show you how each component, including the breast shield, the tubing, the collection container, and how the cup unit all fits together.
Well, I kind of have an idea on how it connects to me and that milk comes out, but I'd like to kind of know just all the parts to it. So if you want to start from the beginning right to the end, I'd be happy to hear it.
Yeah, of course. Now, before we go fully into it, I just have a few other questions for you, just to make sure um, that we have everything planned out. And so, what are your goals for using a breast pump specifically? Now, are you wanting to increase milk expression, build a reserve, or just improve your efficiency?
Um, well, I'm just thinking it would help with just having some on reserve. So that way it's not just me always feeding the baby. There's others that can help out. Maybe,
Okay.
if I want to go to work or go out with friends or have a babysitter or something, then there's reserve on hand.
Yeah. And do you already have a plan? Did you speak with the lactation consultant about how you are going to integrate these pumping sessions into a daily routine?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like you're pretty set on everything that's surrounding it. You just need help figuring out how to use it, which I can definitely do. So let's get into it.
Great.
Uh,
Thanks.
of course. Now, the very first thing is that you have to make sure that you have everything be nice and clean. And so you have to have not just you be hygienic, but have a whole workspace be clean and make sure that you've washed your hands thoroughly. And then after you do that, it's always a smart idea to just go over and make sure that you have all of the components before you start. Because the last thing you want to do is realize that you're missing a piece and it's way over there. And so just check out all the pieces and make sure that everything looks good. There's no tears or scratches and that nothing's broken. And then there we go. And so when we assemble the breast pump, of course, there will be four main pieces for this medallion. So this medallion band has the breast shield, the tubing, the collection container, and then the pump unit itself. Now this is an electric one, so it'll have a little motor. And so we'll connect the breast shield to the tubing, and then we'll want to securely attach the collection chamber underneath to ensure an airtight seal because you don't want to waste all this precious milk that you're getting. And then you'll want to place the pump unit just so it's easily accessible for operation. And then after that, you want to make sure that you yourself are comfortable. Now, this might take a few minutes, and so you want to be making sure that you're sitting comfortably. Um, and then also, because this can be a more intimate thing, are you a first time mom?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure how much you know about breastfeeding, but it's a completely natural process that our bodies do. Nothing wrong with it. But if you're a first time mom, of course, that can feel very uncomfortable. And so it'd be helpful if you sat in a nice quiet area, um, just for your own mentality of making you feel safe and secure. And then you also want to make sure you have back support because you want to be comfortable as well.
Yeah.
And then when you actually use this electric pump, you will want to center your nipple in the middle of the breast shield to establish a good seal. So we would begin using it by then turning on the device. And then you would want to adjust the settings to be a nice, gentle, comfortable level. And then go ahead. And then if you notice any, again, as the suction, if that wasn't doing well, if there's anything leaking, you'll want to kind of just check out the alignment of the breast shield and the tubing. And then if you have persistent issues, you can always refer to the troubleshooting section in the manufacturer's manual, or you can always reach out to a healthcare professional. As you said, you were in contact with a lactation consultant, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe what you could do too is you could set up an appointment where they could help you make sure that you're getting the right fit and everything, just to make sure that it's all good. But you only have to do this if it's not working.
Oh yeah,
Or
I think she said she's coming to my home actually next week. So she said to grab one, and then if I had any other questions, she could help when I'm at home. So,
oh,
but I'd
perfect.
first like to try it before she comes up.
Yeah, of course. And that way she's not helping you learn how to use it, then she's just helping you make sure that you're using it properly.
Yeah, because you mentioned there's different like settings for making you comfortable, so that kind of makes me nervous. It'd be good to practice with it first.
Yeah, of course. And of course, it's dependent completely on everybody's comfort level. And so if you want to just start at the first setting, that's totally okay. And then go up as you feel comfortable.
Hmm.
And then once you're done, of course, you'll need to turn off the thumb. And then for this specific one, you'll just untwist the bottle at the bottom of the expression chamber, and then you'll be able to store that in a storage container. And then just to go over, this is the chamber itself right down here. And then it has all pieces and it can be a bit confusing at first. And I wish that I'd be able to open it for you to show you. But unfortunately, our store has a policy where we're not supposed to open things before we sell them. And so, but luckily you have a lactation consultant to help you out. If needed, I can always send you home with this picture as well, just to make it nice and simple.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Now, do you want to know more about maintaining this device?
Yes, please.
Sure. So this is about how to store it properly because it's important that you store it properly. Otherwise, it can become defective, or worse, it can lead to other issues in just your whole breastfeeding routine. We definitely don't want that to happen. And so after each use, you'll want to wash each individual piece in warm soapy water, minus the motor, of course. Don't want to get electrocuted. And then you'll want to rinse thoroughly and allow all the parts to air dry on a clean drying rack. It's best to let it air dry because then all of those little nooks and crannies can be completely water free and then it doesn't lead to mildew or anything. And then you'll want to store it in a clean, dry area in a dust-free container. So maybe if you have a really big Tupperware or a storage bin that you could put it in, just to make sure that it stays clean. And you'll also want to keep it away from direct sunlight because the sunlight, the UV rays, can lead to some breakdown of the materials. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
just because it's plastic, and plastic and UV never mix well. And then overall, we want to make sure that you clean it properly to reduce the risk of bacterial contamination and to keep the device functioning safely. So I also have some handouts if you're interested. We have
Absolutely. Yes.
perfect. So we have an instructional support video for you. And so this is from Medela themselves, actually, which is perfect. and it would help you have some visual reinforcement at home to help you comprehend it better, make sure that you're doing it right. That way you can practice a bit before the consultant comes to your house. And then I have a nice printed handout of how to put it together just to remind you, because there's a lot of pieces, it can get overwhelming. And
Mhm.
then also, being a first time mom who's breastfeeding can be an overwhelming process too. So I have a resource for you from La Leche International. And it's just some support for some for first time moms, people who are breastfeeding, even people who have experience but want to make sure that they get all the fun tips and tricks. And it also has support groups as well if you wanted to speak with other people going through the same things as you. And now
Wonderful.
I just want to make sure that was a lot of information. If you would be able to verify for me that you know the key steps for putting it together.
Okay, so first of all, it needs to be clean. So I'm going to wash my hands
Yes.
and I'm going to make sure that I have a clean working space. And when I put it together after it's been put away and I take it out of the container, the clean container, um, I'm going to put it on a clean surface and assemble it. And then once it's assembled, I will sit comfortably. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to actually check for air leaks first before I, just make sure everything's put together because there seems to be a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
And then once it's all together, I'm going to sit comfortably in a quiet, comfortable location where I can sit up, maybe in the same position that I do when I'm doing my breastfeeding, maybe probably the same spot, nice quiet spot in my house. And then I'm going to put the breast shield on and adjust the pump so that it's comfortable and then turn it on. And from there, I should be able to see if there's any air leaks. If there is, I can readjust if I need to. And when I have expressed the amount that I need, then I'm going to make sure that I clean it up right away. So whether I store in the container, or I have other containers that I can store it in. Um, the what I'll do after is I'll clean everything except the machine, the device, but the tubing and everything else, all the components, I'll wash in warm soapy water, let it air dry on the counter. And once it's all dry, I can put it away in maybe in a container that is away from direct sunlight and won't get dust or anything in it.
Yeah, of course. And then with the motor, if it does get anything on it, which is totally normal and it's okay if you do make a little bit of a mess, you can always use a dishcloth with a bit of warm soapy water on it just to wipe away any residue on it. But
Oh, okay.
otherwise, I think that you've got most of it. And so, did you have any other questions about anything else? Like, did you want to speak maybe with the pharmacist about um, having enough breast milk, or if you'd like to follow up about any other issues that you might be having, because
Um,
it can be overwhelming to have a baby.
well, yeah, you're right. It is a big learning curve. And actually, I just came in for that today. I don't have any other health concerns or anything. And I really appreciate that you're going to send home some patient support for me. Um, and I think just if I'd like to purchase the machine today, and
Okay,
that should be
great.
good.
Now, do you
Okay.
have any insurance as well?
Um, I don't think so. I I don't know.
That's all right. If you do have insurance, I just want to let you know too that some insurance plans have a little bit of money set aside for medical devices. And so if you keep this receipt, it's always worth it to try and submit it to that plan to try and see if they'll help you pay back some because these can be pretty expensive. I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can take a look. I do have a health benefits plan, but I don't know if it covers medical devices.
That's okay. It's always worth a try, is what I believe in. And so,
Okay.
other than that, here we are. And then if you need help with anything else at all, um, always feel free to come back to our pharmacy. We're here to help you.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate everything that you've done to help me today.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.